my first video in this series about a game I plan on making in C++ around the rules of D&D. First things first, I am not one of the Giga Geniuses on YouTube. I am decent at coding, but there's people on here that are way better. So my plan is to kind of get feedback as I code. So if you are one of the Giga Geniuses, you can hit me up, help me out, down with that. But first, I wanted to go over my plan for this video and sort of where I'm trying to go further videos down the line. But I made a simple UML diagram. Not 100% sold on these. Still trying to figure them out, but they gave me a good place to start. So that's what I'm doing here. And my idea is I'm trying to build a character. So basically this first piece will just be the fighting mechanics between player and NPC. So I'm going to have first character class. Then each player character will inherit features from the character class. Player characters, you're going to have charisma, all the D&D stats. I'm starting with charisma because I think it's funny to be able to talk your way out of fights. And then you can roll your dice and you can upgrade your character so you can increase stats. NPCs will just have health, strength, and an array of stats. So basically I just need extra stats for when you try to persuade him. He needs to roll against that and see if he can be persuaded or not. Their level, which is going to be auto-generated depending on the user's level, or at least putting by a program, and attack, because they're basically just attack. And then we're going to have a dice. My plan is to have a dice class that just basically rolls dice and returns random numbers for each of these dice rolls we have. Alright, so jump on over into the code. I have my main here, which I added some stuff that I am thinking for my story of the game. Basically, I want to make this ever-evolving game where you start in the teleprompter, and as you battle and go on, the interface upgrades with you, and it becomes more dynamic. So we'll start with fan prompt, then we'll move on to a simple GUI where you type in the answers, and then maybe some buttons and an actual interface. So that's all this is. This is just intro story I was thinking of. Not sold on it yet. Have a general idea of where I want to go with it. Just haven't fully fleshed it out yet. What I did create is the header class for character. So we have character name, health, armor, stealth, strength, charisma. I'm not sure what I want to use this for yet. I've been thinking if each upgrade's worth 10 points, you can upgrade those into stats. Constructor for the character, getters and setters. This isn't final yet. I haven't coded a class for this. Non-player character, I have coded the class for. And we have all the things we'll be using throughout this class. String name, so when you create a non-player character, you can give it a name, or you can have a random name generated. If you listen to the podcast, you might recognize some of these names. Wasn't an accident. Constructor for each of those, for just giving a level or giving it an actual name. Get level, get NPC name, which will return the NPC name, getters, setters, and then an attack class. It's a little different from the UML I made, but I think this will work fine for now. Then we jump over to the NPC class. If you just give a level, we'll use a random number generator to pick a name. 1 through 5, 0 through 4, 1 of the 5. Pick that name, spit it out. That's the name, set it name. Otherwise, set the level, set the name, getter, setter. Pretty standard stuff. And then attack, I'm returning a vector of 2. So the first is whether the attack roll hits. So we're going to do a random number generator, rolling a d20, 1 through 20. If that beats the character's AC, you're going again. So you'll basically pass this attack into the character class. The character class will have something called like receive attack or something. If that passes the AC, then we'll deal damage. And that damage be calculated here, and this is where we're going to use the level. So basically I have rolling a 4-sided dice. If you're hoping this will work, whatever level you are, that's how many times you roll that dice and how many times you add that to the die count. So the higher the level, the more damage will be dealt because you go through this 4 more times. Then put that in the second part of the array and return that attack. And that's where I am right now. Hoping this will work.
Hoping this will work. Hoping this will work.
We shall see. We're not saying that it didn't completely work, but I found out you can do UML diagrams and class diagrams in Visual Studio, so that's super helpful. As we talked about last time, the NPC class, there's a few new things like get health and receive an attack, because I need to have a fight with 2 characters. So we'll start with that. We'll go to receive attack. Basically, it just takes in that attack vector we made last time. Tells you the NPC you hit, your attack, get informed when he's dead, which is nice. And then you get to see stealth after you attack him. And if your attack misses, it tells you you missed. And then there's some updates to attack. We actually say the NPC name now, so you know who's attacking, who's getting the attack, and what the damage is going to be. So that was done last time. Just some updates for when I started coding the character class and realizing I need to make combat. And then, so the player character class has one constructor where you define everything: health, armor, charisma, strength, all that stuff. Right now, I have these as general setters, so they're not checking any of the inputs, and there also is nothing telling you what your max can be. It's telling you to put a number between 10 and 15, but there's no like max number of points like in DnD where you can't have everything maxed out at the start. So that's something I'm gonna mess around with. But yeah, that same receive attack class receives a vector, checks that attack against the armor class of your character. If that hits, it tells you that hits, and the attack hits for that much, however much damage was in that first part of that vector. You get your damage back. If your attack damage is higher than your health, then I hate to tell you, you did. If not, then you get your health and you subtract the attack damage, and that's your new health. You will report that out. Then we also do that in the other ones where our health goes below 0. We can keep track of that for, I guess, future when we're actually in combat and you have death saving throws. That attack missed. Then player attack is very similar to the attack class I made for the NPC, almost identical, except your armor, instead of timesing by level here, you're dividing strength by 2, and that's how much attack you're going to get. I'm not sure if this is the best way of deciding your attack rolls, but you'll see it's usually a one-hit kill, so probably not great. And you save your damage and you return your attack. And then the last big update for the code is I added a banner class. This is just generic, so you have a little thing on the top, looks nice. Then I added initiate combat, which takes the NPC and the player and deals the combat. So basically, if the NPC, or first attacker, gets health and it's greater than 0, he can attack. If player 1 get health greater than 0, then he can attack. And I made this boolean continue, so basically it continues to fight. Because every time you get attacked, you get the ask the user, do you want to continue attacking or not? If you do, then you attack. If not, it ends combat and you basically retreat. This is all the previous opening dialogue stuff. And then basically we ask you to give your armor class, health class, charisma, which is spelled wrong, strength, and then we make your player. And then we said we don't actually need this. Sorry, trying to set my other stuff. So create an NPC, tell them who you have encountered, indent, and then initiate combat, and that calls that combat class. Alright, so now we are here in the output, in the command prompt. That's the banner I was talking about, DnD Lite. Kind of my intro here. It's just mainframe kind of thing. Type a name in. Kind of gives you an intro. You can pick your armor class. As I said, right now, I can type in anything to these, and it will let me do it. Here's the cool part. So my encounter, Barry Blue Jeans. Barry Blue Jeans attack me roll as a 1, so he missed. So I can run or attack him. So we're gonna attack him, and I killed him in 1 shot. As I said, a couple balancing issues, because My attack roll was a 9. He did not have a high enough AC to beat that. I did 15 points of damage, and he's dead. So, a little fixing to go on there, but otherwise, pretty cool demo. But that's the end of the tutorial I wanted to do this time. See you guys next time in the series, where we'll try to, advance the story on and maybe have multiple encounters and better balancing. See ya.